kitchen. On today's episode of Busy Baking, we're going to be making a whipped pie. If y'all remember way back when, we started with a whipped chocolate pie, which is one of my favorite pies ever. And we have rolled into different whipped pies. I'm on a quest to find my favorite whipped pie. Some of them have cream cheese, some of them do not have cream cheese. They have different other flavors and ingredients in them. But basically, what I'm looking for is a pie that has whipped cream in it, and you put it in the refrigerator. No bake whipped pie. And I'm trying to find my favorite. So today I decided to try a recipe for what is one of my husband's favorite ice creams, mint chocolate chip, and combining it with my favorite cookie, which is an Oreo, which should be everybody's favorite cookie. And we are making a whipped mint Oreo pie. So for this recipe, you need 6 ounces of cream cheese softened, which I have in my bowl. You need a 14-ounce can. Let me make sure that's 14 ounces. A 14-ounce can of sweetened evaporated, You need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, a half a teaspoon of mint or peppermint extract, green food coloring, about 15 mint Oreos chopped up, threw mine in the food I cannot talk. Threw mine in the food processor for just a couple pulses and it turned it out fine, and a pre-made Oreo crust. You can make your own Oreo crust, but I'm lazy and this is busy baking. So today we're gonna focus on the busy, throw out the bacon. What we're gonna do first is we are going to fluff up our cream cheese. So basically you just wanna take your hand mixer. It's a lot easier with a hand mixer or a stand mixer. And you wanna just beat it and beat it and beat it and beat it until it's gotten like really light and fluffy looking. So we are going to move stuff out of the way so I don't make a mess. And we are going to fluff our cream cheese. Oh no! Pull that down a little bit. I got cream cheese falling all over the kitchen. Hot and fresh in the kitchen, mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing. Okay, so now that we have our cream cheese light and fluffy, I hope you guys can see what light and fluffy is. It's light and fluffy, light and fluffy. I don't know where I'm holding it, but it's just basically beaten out of its little clump. So what we're gonna do is pour in our sweetened condensed milk, and we're just gonna pour in about half the can. We're gonna mix it starting out on low, and we just wanna get it incorporated really, really well into our pie. Start pouring in another little bit of our condensed milk. We just want to make sure it's mixing in really good with the cream cheese. Alright, now to get the rest of this out, I'm just going to set that right there. And I'm going to take my knife, because sweetened condensed milk can be a pain in the rumpus. Just going to mix this up. Get it all incorporated. Make sure you get it all around the edges of your bowl and the very bottom of the bowl. That's why I like a hand mixer with this, because sometimes a stand mixer does mix, but sometimes it misses down the sides, the very bottom corners, the sides of the bowl. All right. Now is the time that we're gonna add our mint extract. So I have peppermint extract, and I'm gonna do just about half a teaspoon. You can add a little more, a little less, depending on how minty you want the pie to be. And then we're gonna add in some drops of food coloring. It's gonna be light green. I'm putting 15 drops of this in there. Really, you can have it any color you want. Now we're gonna add some whipped cream. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Cheese. But there is 8 ounces of cream cheese involved. Words. There is 8 ounces of whipped cream that we're gonna incorporate into this, so even if this looks really bright green right now, it's gonna fade out into like a very mint green just because we're adding all that Cool Whip in here. And now at this point we are done with our mixers. So I'm gonna just set all that to the side. And what I use now normally is my spatula. Y'all know I love my silicone spatula. If you don't have one, please invest in one if you like to bake, because it's amazing. I'm just gonna scrape down the sides, give it another few little stirs, make sure it got everything completely mixed. And then at this point, we're gonna add in our mint Oreos. So normally about 15 mint Oreos is about half of a package of Oreos. And you can crush them up in a Ziploc bag, or you can throw them in a food processor like I did. And you're just gonna take your spatula and just mix it together and incorporate. You don't wanna beat it, you don't wanna crush it up. You do want these crunches of Oreos, you don't want an Oreo powder. So just take your spatula, mix it up. This is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look a little goopy, a little lumpy. And now we're gonna add in our cream cheese. Like I'm telling y'all, this is, the hardest part of this is throwing some Oreos in a food processor and crunching them up, or crunching them up with a Ziploc bag. This is a super easy, super quick recipe. And every time I use whipped cream for any recipe, I always look it off the top. This is whipped cream and it's good. So I'm just gonna scrape this down this side real quick. It doesn't matter because you're gonna incorporate it anyway. But basically what you're gonna do is just dump all of your whipped cream right into your bowl. So it's, aside from your whipped cream bowl, if you just threw everything in there, this is a one bowl pie. You don't have to do a lot of cleanup after that. I love whipped cream. And now we're just gonna fold the whipped cream in. So basically, you're just gonna incorporate it into your pie. People use things like fold and weird descriptive terms when they're baking, and to me it's weird when they're just like gently mix. That's all you need to say, it's just gently mix. You don't wanna use an electric mixer for this at all. You can use a spoon, a hand whisk. I'm gonna turn the bowl on the side because that mixture we just made before we put the whipped cream in is thick and it'll sink to the bottom. So you wanna make sure that you've got it all incorporated in with this whipped cream. So you have to use some arm power just to make, and I don't have much, so if I can do it, you can do it. Just to make sure that we scraped it all off the bottom and got everything mixed in good. Now all we're gonna do is throw it in our Oreo crust, and y'all, like I said, super easy. We're already pretty much done with the pie. And it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna look like a lot, it's gonna be a lot, so just be careful plopping it all in there because it could just come all out of your crust. This is a 9-inch Oreo pie crust. I don't know if they come in any different sizes pre-made, but you do want a 9-inch pie crust. And so I've got a lot in here. I'm just gonna kind of spread it down the edges right now. I just dripped that stuff on the counter, which is okay because it's yummy. And it does seem like a mushy pie, but it will firm up in the freezer. And we'll plop the rest of this on there. Spread it around. And we're done. We are done with this part. See how easy this is, y'all? Such a good pie. Like I said, leave it in the freezer. You can put it in there about 2 hours. Realistically, about 4 hours is probably proper amount of time for this to get really good and sturdy. You can eat it if you put it in the refrigerator, but it is gonna be goopy and messy. It's not gonna be a firm pie unless you stick it in the freezer for a little while first. So be sure to pop it in the freezer, put it in the freezer, and I'm gonna go put this in the freezer, clean up the kitchen a little bit, and I will see y'all back in just a few short hours with our mint Oreo whipped pie. All right, y'all, so our whipped mint Oreo pie, that's a mouthful, is done. We have popped it in the freezer for a couple hours. Like all the whipped pies we've been doing, you can pop this in the freezer, make it ahead of time, keep it in the freezer, pull it out before you get ready to serve it. It is so good, so yummy. I've had mine in the freezer for 2 hours, so it's a good consistency right now to have a slice. I've got a slice cut that I'm gonna have when we're done here. But it is so good and light and fluffy, and just a little hint of mint and then Oreos. You cannot go wrong with mint Oreos. And of course you can dress this up by crumbling some chopped up Oreos on top of it. You can take some mini Oreos and put around it with some whipped cream, whatever you want to do. But this is such an easy, yummy recipe, and I already have my fork, so I'm ready to dig in. But be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if you make this pie. Like I said, any of the whip pies we've been doing. We're gonna find our favorite. Tell me your favorite so far. And if you have some that you like I haven't made, shoot me the recipe down below. Be sure to follow me on all my social media. I have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I would love to talk to you guys about some recipes or any fun stuff that you want to talk about. And be sure to hit that subscribe button because y'all know y'all want to. We put out videos every Tuesday afternoon, and we have a lot of fun stuff coming up over the summer that you don't want to miss, including more whipped pies. And we'll see y'all next time. Stay sweet, y'all. I'm just gonna eat it before I get it out. Oh my goodness, don't tell anybody that I ate that corner. Here, you taste this little corner. That's so good. It's like a light, fluffy mint cloud. I'm not good. Make you slap your mama. But don't do that, because that's mean.